Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So, first of all, I meant to make this video last night, but I kind of forgot to do so because, well, I was playing some ranked play and I kind of got distracted. By the time I finished playing ranked play, it was I needed to go ahead and hit the hay so I could get up and be awake enough in time to go to work. But so last night, day 3 of the first week of Major 2, it was interesting. For the most part, went exactly like I thought it was going to. About halfway. It was interesting. Let's go ahead and switch your views. So, kicking the night off, you had the Paris Gentlemates against the Miami Heretics, and that went the way I thought it was going to, with the Gentlemates winning against the Heretics. I think I had the Heretics with one more map, maybe? I don't remember. But Scar Hardpoint 250 to 224. It was a pretty close race on that one, I have to say. It was a pretty doggone close race. At the beginning, the Heretics, they had it at the beginning, but then the Gentlemates turned it around and took the win. But the raid, search and destroy, 6-4. Not a bad job on the side of the Heretics, because it was a good run. It was a real good run. Yeah, it was interesting. But then the Scar Overload, 2-1. It was not a high-scoring game, but they played a lot of keep away. Paris did. It was a lot of good plays on the side of the Gentlemates. Overload does not seem to be a strong mode for the Heretics. But then you get to the Den Hardpoint, 250 to 172. And golly, it was just, they were doing okay to a certain point, and then it just fell off for them. But Gentlemates came out with the win, which I expected. I fully expected that. Let's see, what did I say on them? I said it was going to go 3-2, but it went 3-1, so I was close. I was real close. Not so much on these next two. Not so much on the next two. So then you had Breach against Falcons, and Breach went 3-1. I don't know what happened to the Falcons. I did not expect Boston to come out on top of that one. Exposure Hardpoint, 250 to 204. It was a close game. It was a real close game on that one. Then Colossus Search and Destroy went to a round 11, and Breach took the win. It was some good plays out of Breach on that one. Den Overload 4-3. Again, real close game. These two teams are really close as far as strength-wise. They are really close, because if you look at these, it's not far off of each other. I mean, went to a round 11, 250 to 204. Den Overload 4-3. I mean, they are really close. And then the Colossus Hardpoint, 250 to 217. They are really close in strength, and they could be contenders for the championship, the World Championship. They could very well be. Hard to say at this point, so early in the season. But then LA Thieves against the Carolina Royal Ravens, and the Ravens have been dominant online. LAN is a different story, but on the online front, they have been dominant here recently. But LA Thieves took them down. But the LA Thieves have a new player Neum. They replaced out Kenny with Neum, and Neum seems to be a game changer for them. Now, I didn't even catch that. 6'4", 6'4". That's funny. The Colossus hardpoint, 250 to 201. Carolina was trying their hardest. That's not knocking Carolina. They are a jam-up team. But the Thieves with Neum were just a little bit better. They were just a little bit better. Exposure, Search and Destroy, 6-4. Den Overload, 6-4. I mean, it was dominance on the side of the Thieves, but let's not count out the Carolina Royal Ravens, because they put up one heck of a fight. One heck of a fight. Yeah, that one I was totally wrong. We'll see. Breach versus Falcons, I called 3-1 in favor of the Falcons. It was 3-1 in favor of Breach. I was hopeful with the Ravens, 3-2 in favor of the Ravens. And this one, the G2 versus Cloud9, I said 3-2. It was 3-0. Yeah, 3-0. But see, I didn't realize Cloud9 has an entirely new squad. And we'll go look at that in just a minute. They fully replaced their squad. Total change. There ain't one player on there that was on there before. And they are all young players. 250 to 215, Den Hardpoint. 6-2 on the Exposure, Search and Destroy. And 3-2 on the Scar Overload. I mean, it's not like they weren't playing, but they are a new team, and they have not clicked yet. You give them time, and they just might, but okay, they haven't updated this yet. Yeah, they haven't updated this yet. So it was Afro, Beans, Mac, and Vivid, but let's see if I can see. Yeah, like I say, it's a whole new squad. Yeah, you can see it right here. It was so this so the Cloud9 squad now is Hyde. I don't know how you say that. They said they pronounced it yesterday, but I cannot pronounce it now. Encourage, Ocus. They were putting up a fight, but they're a new, let's call them a green squad. So they're not clicked yet. But next week, kicking off on Friday, or this week actually, you're gonna have Vancouver Surge against FaZe Vegas, which that ought to be interesting. That ought to be very interesting. You're gonna have the Falcons against Cloud9 and Toronto Koi against the LA Thieves. So let's go ahead and put my pick'ems in. At least for Friday, anyway. I'm going to say FaZe Vegas 3-0. 3-0 FaZe Vegas. Sorry, Surge. Y'all just haven't proved yourselves at all. 3-0 in favor of the Falcons, because while that Cloud9 squad seems to have potential, they're not there yet. And Thieves against Toronto Core. Koi hasn't seemed that strong here lately. But I'm going to say 3-1. Because the Thieves are really, really strong. Especially with Neum added to the team. And replacing Kenny. So yeah, this coming Friday, 3-0 in favor of FaZe. 3-0 in favor of Falcons. And 3-1 in favor of the Thieves. That's what I say. Now I'll put my pick'ems in for these another day. But yeah, like I say, yesterday was interesting. It was the debut of the new Cloud9 squad. Carolina lost to the Thieves. Falcons lost to Breach. And, of course, Paris Gentlemates winning against the Heretics. We all expected. We all expected that. I mean, but it's not knocking the Heretics. The Heretics are a pretty doggone good team. They're a doggone good team. But Paris Gentlemates are just better. They were just a little bit better. Actually, not a little, a lot better. But I think that's going to be everything I got for y'all today. And I'll catch you on the next video. Y'all have a great day.